Hi everybody, Chris here from Truly Holistic. In this video, we're going to talk about weight loss, eh? What a topic, right? Now, I've had a lot of clients over the years that come to me about weight loss, right? Wanting to achieve weight loss, right? And a lot of them come to me, mention they've tried everything in regards to diet, right? And that always comes up first, right? And we're going to talk about that aspect, right? Because obviously there's more to the picture of what's going on that goes beyond diet and beyond exercise. Because they come to me, they go, hey, I've tried this diet, I've changed my diet, I've even gone on fasting, which is not to eat anything. And they've been to the gym, they've exercised, and they still can't get rid of the stubborn layer of fat, right? This adipose tissue. Now, at Truly Holistic, the way that we approach things, right, all sorts of health problems, which includes wanting, a desire for somebody to gain weight loss, is to simplify. And why we simplify is because, one, the client needs to know what's going on, right? So their perspective of what's going on, they need to understand that. Right? Because their understanding becomes their belief structure or belief system. And their creative process, which is them utilizing their own energy to become the fabric of reality they're going to experience, will reflect their belief system. Right? So when we look at, weight gain, we're talking about storage. Okay, the simplicity of it all. Okay, so obviously I need that person to understand it so they can change their belief structure, which means they change how they apply and use their energy, right, into what becomes the fabric of reality, right, to break ceilings, break walls, right, of what they believe is not possible, right? It's very important, right, because obviously that's how they're going to change the body, right, and what they want to see, right, what they want to achieve, the goals they want to get, that they want to achieve, right, the outcome they want to see. And we know that the mind and its thoughts generally complicate and make things more complex than they actually are, right? So this is why we use that simplicity, right, symbology, and we just go straight to the heart of the matter, right? There's an expression, right, to get to the heart of the matter. And how we get to the heart of the matter is to allow our heart to lead us. And the heart knows simplicity. The mind knows complexity. So we know that, hey, the mind quite often shows us the observation, shows us the effect, but never gives us the cause to the effect, or what's in the unseen that is always having an effect or influence on us. This is where the heart comes into play. And obviously the extension of the heart is feel, where the extension of the mind is thought. So feel has no barriers to it. It's limitless, right? So it's a completely different pathway, completely different network. And it's going to give us the insights, the answers we need to then not only understand what's going on, then achieve that outcome of losing that weight. So right at the core of weight gain, it's storage, okay? And as I mentioned, right, whenever anybody's dealing with weight, they're always looking at their diet. They're looking at what they eat, and they're looking at exercise. Am I getting enough exercise? Am I getting enough movement? Now, what about emotions? What about memories? What about traumas? Because there are times in our life, right, where we might be involved in a trauma, and depending on where we are in our life and how well we know self, how well we know reality, and importantly, our role in reality and creating that reality, is we might not be ready to process that trauma or understand what to do with it, and hence it gets stored away. Okay? Generally, as a human, we are conditioned to use the discernment of the mind and its thoughts as our autopilot kind of mode or choice over the heart. And it tends to hold on to things, right? Which means it creates a state for the body for things to accumulate. Okay, so that's to store this stuff away in adipose tissue and hold on to that stuff. So you can see how this goes a little bit further than what most people think. And I'm going to emphasize the word think, right? Because the mind and thoughts are happy enough for you to just associate weight gain with diet and exercise. But if that was the true answer, well, wouldn't we be seeing the results more with those methods? And I've got to say, through my experience working with people, even outside of work and talking to people about the ability to try and lose weight, it's obvious. It goes well beyond food and exercise. Okay? And this is also just a greater understanding of what we are. You know? Because food, again, it's this aspect of physicality. Exercise, physicality. And when we experience, the way we condition, the way we experience reality in the head, right through mind and thoughts, is that we follow what we see and we couple it with a thought process to get our head around what we see. But they're greatly limited, right? What we see is 0.0035%, the electromagnetic spectrum of light, meaning what we see with these duality eyes is not even the 1% representation of what's going on, of what is. And then we use the mind and its thoughts to kind of bridge these conclusions based on the limitation of what we see into what we think is going on. Now, I'm going to say right now, we miss the mark most times when we use that method of discernment. That's been my experience. Because we actually have a clearing. We have to remove miscreation from that client in the way they've used their creative process, because they've been guided to use their creative process in a way from the mind and its thoughts that is feeding into outcomes that weren't actually part of what is, but the client created that issue or that problem. So you can understand that life's not happening to you. You are forging that experience, and by learning more about reality and also your creative process, who you are in your creative process, into building and forging that fabric of reality is essential. And truly holistic that's our expertise here. Okay. So coming back to this storage. So it could be stored emotions, memories, traumas. All these things are really, when it comes to weight gain or the ability to lose weight, a lot more prevalent than just simply about what we're eating and calories and calorie restriction and exercise, all these sorts of things. Okay? Because it goes beyond the physical. Okay? Because when we look at emotions, it's okay, what we're experiencing, but bound to then how we feel about it. And those emotions then become something that's not really deemed physical. Okay? Memory, let's look into this memory aspect, because this is a big one. And this is not just connected to this issue with creating a state of congestion to the body that leads to weight gain or storage. It's also to a number of health problems, because we see that all illnesses are either due to a congestion, obstruction, or blockage of flow in the body, right? And if there's a lack of flow, there's congestion, there's accumulation. If you've got flow, things can't accumulate, can't get congested. Okay. Now, when it comes to memory, right, our sole purpose, pun intended, because we came here as the soul first, before we were birthed as the human. Okay? But the more we get endeavored by our human and humanity kind of role, right, what the world needs from us. And that is when the mind intervenes and takes over, by the way. It pulls us further and further away from what we originally came here to do, as the soul. Right? It's like you were on this path and then the mind came and intervened and took you onto another path. Right? And that sole purpose was to create the experience that you would learn from to convert into wisdom. And through that method of converting your experience into wisdom, you don't hold on to anything. You just flow. Right? What did Bruce Lee used to say? Be like water. What does that mean? Be is short for being, which is your natural state when your awareness is over the heart, not in the mind and thoughts, which is your natural state because you facilitate authentically what you are as a soul, as a consciousness, and allow it to flow through, which is a vortex, which is a spiral connected to the Fibonacci sequence, the golden ratio, as I say, the fabric of reality. Okay, so you're all about flow, riding that wave. Okay, but what we learn from each experience, because in each experience, in each moment, there's a lesson at the heart of it, at the core of it. And we need to know the lesson from it to convert the experience to wisdom. And there's an expression, right, to get to the heart of the matter. Now, to get to the heart of the matter, right, the experience, to convert it into wisdom, what do we need? What's in that sentence? Is it the word mind or is it the word heart? It's the word heart. Because you need to be connected into your authenticity to see and feel into the authenticity of the experience, to get to the heart of the matter. But generally, humans aren't here. This is why cardiovascular disease is the number one killer of humans. Why? Because humans aren't here. They're here, which has a detrimental effect on the heart, on the cardiovascular system. That's at the core of heart disease. We know that here. We know how to resolve that here. But generally, we are conditioned. We're all in the same boat. We're all conditioned to follow a mind-thought pathway in the way we perceive and process our reality, right? How we see it and how we're supposed to respond and react to what we see. Okay, as I say, observe and then get our head around it. Or try to, right? Now, when we're up here, we don't get to the heart of the lesson. We don't get to the heart of the matter. We don't see the lesson, so we can't convert that experience into wisdom, which means we accumulate that experience. We accumulate it as memory. Okay? And what we've found here at Truly Holistic about cognitive issues such as dementia, Alzheimer's, which are extreme examples of this, but this is when someone over years, decades, has accumulated so much experience and not converted into wisdom that it leads to those health problems. And it's very much like a computer. And the way my soul, my consciousness tells me about the body is to see it as a computer, because it's often called an interface. That's what my soul calls the body. It's an interface for an intelligence or consciousness, you as the soul, to come through it. That's the whole purpose and role of the body. Now, on a computer, right, if you've got so much room on that computer, but if you keep downloading new software, programming and stuff like that, eventually it's going to become full. And what do we see with a computer when it's essentially all full, right, and all the memory's taken up? That computer gets sluggish and it starts to not be able to work as well as it could do, and eventually it doesn't work at all. Now that's what happens with the body. When we have experience over years, decades, and we do not convert it into wisdom because we hold on to it. Okay, this is at the core of a lot of health problems, not just this aspect of weight gain, but it is connected in regards to this aspect of we store things beyond food, calories, a lack of exercise, right, where we lose muscle tone, right, and then things go into fat or adipose tissue. So I just wanted to present this to you because recently I did a session on a lady who was having issues and trying to gain let's get the ball rolling, so to speak, in regards to losing weight. And we did a session where it was emphasizing this aspect of storage, right? Of this aspect that, you know, of removing old memories, removing trauma, Because another aspect of when we're up in the mind and thoughts is mentality. And this is where the word mental comes from, right? When we say mental health, mental illness, it comes from mentality. Now, when somebody is using a mind-thought pathway to discern and process their reality, they are going to use mentality, right? And mentality has led to mental illness because, as I say, if we do not use mentality in the way we go about perceiving and processing our life, you can't have mental illness because it requires someone to use mentality. Okay? And mentality is about getting you stuck and creating a state that the body then starts to accumulate, not flow. Okay? We often call it mentality a loop because it gets you stuck. You're wanting to forge forward, you're wanting to grow, evolve, and you feel like you are, but it's that whole, that whole saying, right? We take one step and only to take 3 steps back, right? We think we're moving, but we just loop back onto the same spot again. We're stuck. We're confined in a loop, a remanifestation, a cycle that needs to be broken. And when that is broken, that's when flow can occur and we create a state. It's not about accumulation. It's not about storage. It's about flow. And the key word here in regards to providing a state to allow and enable the body to lose weight is that word flow. Important. Very, very important. So if you're super serious about, and you're somebody that has tried all these things which are part of a mind thought pathway, right? To go and change my diet, to do all these things, take supplements, right? Exercise more, but you're still stuck, right? It's really hard to lose any weight at all, or you're not able to. Book an appointment with me. It's really holistic, and we will really let you see the bigger picture in play here of what I'm talking about in this video. It's not just going to be about the clearings I do. I'm going to provide you with all the insights to change your creative process that then forges a state and environment that becomes the precursor of how the body will then express, behave, and function that enables flow back instead of accumulation, instead of storage. Okay? Now, this is a sustainable way of doing it where it doesn't require things outside of you. It requires a self-awareness about your own creative process, okay, what you're capable of. It's a highly enlightening, empowering process. Everyone that's done the sessions with me regarding this, like the lady that wanted to lose weight, she loved the session, and you will too. You learn so much about yourself at the same time, and opening all the doors to forge you towards the direction of the outcome that you are wanting to fulfill. So book in a session at trulyholistic.net/appointments/ and you can book an appointment. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. You go to the appointment page and ask you your time zone, you put that in, and it shows you all the appointment times that I'm available, and you can go ahead and book that session yourself. Now, I'm in New Zealand, so for people in the UK and Europe, where quite often the time difference is like the complete opposite, and there is not a appointment time that suits you or you can do, go to my contact page on my trulyholistic.net website and get in touch with me, and we can work something out together that we can book a video call together where we can do the session work. Now, if you've really enjoyed this video, please like the video, please subscribe to the channel, please push the notification bell if you'd like to be notified about more videos that come through in relevant topics like this one. Until next time, see you later.